In this lesson, we're going to look at the anatomy of a web page, a basic look at some of the more common structures that make up a web page. Even if you're not writing your HTML by hand, it's important to be able to recognize some of these things, particularly when you come to do your search engine optimization. Let's start right at the top. The doc type declaration at the start of a web page is usually an instruction to tell a web browser what version of HTML it's written in. It used to be that you would read something like this. Fortunately, these days HTML has been simplified a little, and all you have to do to write in that doc type declaration is this. Okay, when you make a web page, it will always include these two HTML tags. They wrap around pretty much everything else on your page to say, this is HTML. Let's look at the header section. This part of the page is invisible when you look at the page in a browser, but provides the browser and the search engines with information about your page. Most importantly, it houses your title and your meta tags. It might also tell the browser where to find any style sheet files that you're using to set colors, fonts, and other styles for your site, or any scripts that you might be running on that page. The page title. What you put in between your title tags is the text that you want to appear at the top of your window when you look at it on your web page. A lot of people neglect this when they build their pages. This is frequently the clickable text that ends up appearing in your search listing for the search engines as well, so it's a good idea to put a couple of your keywords into your title tags. For instance, look at these. Meta tags. These also go inside your head section. They're meant to supply information to the search engines about how you want your page to be indexed. For instance, what the keywords are for your page, what description you want used in the search engine listing, whether you want your page to be cached, etc. The two meta tags that you'll be mostly interested in are the meta keywords and the meta description tags. Meta keywords, well, basically, they're the keywords for your site. And the meta description? A succinct description of your page of 200 characters or fewer. This occasionally appears in the search engine results underneath the clickable text, so it's good to write something compelling. Okay, the body section. This is the main part of your web page, the part that houses the stuff that people actually see. The heading tags, H1, H2, and H3, etc. Heading or H tags denote headers throughout your text. H1 is your main header, H2 is a subheader, H3 is a subheader, and so on, all the way down to H6, for instance. Your H1 headers are particularly important for search engine optimization. You should try to put your keywords into your H1 headers, while obviously keeping it looking natural. H2 headers can also have a little bit of impact, so don't neglect those either. Links. Href tags. Links are the text you click to jump from one page to another. A basic link usually looks like this. The first part of the link starts with a href equals. The A part specifies that a tag is an anchor, while the href specifies that the anchor contains a hypertext reference. The address of the page or site you want to link to goes in the quotation marks after that, i.e. in place of the www.example.com/page2.html above. The second part of the link is the text or image that you want your visitors to see. It can be plain text like we have above, or it can be an image. The third part of the link is what closes the link, and always looks like this. If you don't close the link, you may find your entire page turns into one giant link. Okay, images. The HTML for inserting an image into your page generally looks like this. IMG says that this is where you're putting an image. SRC, short for source, tells the browser where the image actually is. And the equals and the rest of this is the actual location of the image. There is some extra information that you can insert into your image tag. Height and width. These are fairly self-explanatory. You can specify the height and the width of the image in pixels. So, for example, it could look like this. This is useful because it tells the browser how much space to leave for images when it's rendering the page. This is good if you have lots of images, or really big images that take a while to load. Otherwise, your readers may find the text they're reading on the page is leaping around all over the place while the images on the page load. You can also resize images using the height and width values, but this isn't recommended. Not only will your images end up distorted, but your viewers still have to download the whole image in its full-size glory, and it will still just take as long to load. It's just made to appear smaller. Alt, which is short for alternative text, this is the text that is displayed if for some reason the image doesn't load. The alt text is important for these reasons. Accessibility. For example, a vision-impaired user who surfs the web using screen readers. Some people can't actually see your images, so a written description of the image is highly recommended. Anyone surfing the web with images turned off. And alt text also may have a very small impact on on-page SEO factors. However, it's been abused so much in the past that the search engines don't often pay much attention to alt text anymore. Alt text, well, usually looks like this. Lists are extremely useful and deceptively powerful little things. There are two main types of lists, the ordered list and the unordered list. Let's start with the unordered list. The unordered list basically has no order. Funny that. Each item has the same type of bullet. You can also have indented lists, like so. An ordered list will use numbers, letters, or Roman numerals as the bullet. You can specify the type of ordering in your CSS. Also, as with unordered lists, you can have multiple levels of indentation. Now we've got forms. If you've ever clicked a submit button or sent a support request to a business through their website, you've used a form. Forms are part of a page where your user can enter information through text boxes, drop-down lists, checkboxes and buttons. Form and \form opens and closes the form. You also use this tag to specify the file you want to send the information to. Input creates some sort of input field. There are a few different types of these. The ones you'll be most familiar with are these. Text, well, this is a standard text field, like the ones you enter your username and password into to log into a site. Checkbox, well, that creates a checkbox. Your users can tick as many of these checkboxes as they like. Radio, well, this one is like a checkbox, but it's round and users can only choose one option. Not many people are both female and male. Submit, well, this creates the submit button. And basic text formatting tags. These are some other tags you will encounter inside your HTML. P and close P. Well, you might have already encountered these tags in previous lessons. They are paragraph tags that wrap, unsurprisingly, around paragraphs. Strong, well, represents text that you want to have strong emphasis or importance. In most browsers, it has the effect of making the text bold. M means emphasis, and typically has the effect of making text italic. And BR, or break. This creates a line break, similar to hitting return once on your keyboard. It doesn't need a closing twin. And time for today's lesson summary. In this lesson, we've taken a look at the basic anatomy of a web page and how each section makes up different parts of a web page. The areas we looked at included the doc type HTML, opening and closing HTML, the header section or head section, the page title or title tags, meta tags, the body section, the heading tags H1, H2 and H3, etc., all the way down to H6, links, images, lists, forms, and basic text formatting tags. Anyway, That's a lot to get your head around, and it's all we've got time for. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.